Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. In this video we are going to learn about Venn diagram. So Venn diagram is a popular concept and we can use it in different areas, and many of the competitive exams usually ask these types of questions. So in this video we are going to learn the diagram method, not the basic Venn diagram formula method. In this video we are going to learn the diagram method. How can we easily solve the questions not using that formulas like n into a union B, not like that, with using the actual Venn diagram pictures. Move on to one basic question. In a school there are 50 students, 15 students like tea and 20 students like coffee, and the rest of the students like both. So find the number. So it is a simple question, so we can answer it. First of all, we want to draw a Venn diagram like this, and total there are 50 students, and we want to draw two circles like this, and one would be tea and other would be coffee. So how many students like tea? There are 15 students like tea and 20 students like coffee. So we want to find this area, the area in which the students like both tea and coffee. So the rest of the students like both. So it means that when we add these numbers, we would get 50. So 15 plus 20 plus, we can write this area as x is equal to 50. So 35, 20 plus 15 would be 35 plus x would be 50. So x is equal to 50. The plus 35 on the other side, when going to the other side, would change into minus 35. So the answer of x would be 50 minus 35 would be 15. So how many children likes tea and coffee would be 15. So 15 students like tea, 15 students like them both, and 20 students like coffee. So we can move on to the next question. In an exam, 35% of students failed in economics, 45% failed in reasoning, and 20% in both. Find the number of passed. So first of all, we want to draw a Venn diagram like this, Venn diagram, and two circles like this, and in economics 35 students, economics 35%, and in reasoning 45%. So in both cases 20% of students failed in both. So we want to find the number of passed students. So in economics, in the subject economics only, how many students passed? This is the area in which both students failed in both English, economics and reasoning. So 35% of students failed in examination and 20% failed in both reasoning and economics. We want to find the students only failed in economics. So 35 minus 20 would be 15%. 15% failed only in economics, and reasoning 45% failed in reasoning. So 20% passed in failed in both economics and reasoning. So 25%, 45 minus 20 would be 25. So 25% failed only in reasoning and passed economics. So we want to find the number of passed students. So we want to first add these numbers. So how many students failed in the examination? We want to find total failed in the examination. Total failed would be 15 plus 20 plus 25. 15 plus 20 plus 25 would be 15 plus 20 to 35. 35 plus 25 would be 60%. So if we find total fail, so total pass would be, we know that 100% students are there in a class and 60% of students failed in the examination. That means 40% of the students are only passed in that examination. So we can move on to the last and final question, and a bit tough question. It's not that tough, but if you clearly study these techniques, or clearly noticed and learn these Venn diagram techniques, you can easily do this question. So we can move on to the answer of this question. So how can we find the answer of it? So first of all, we can move on to a question. In an exam, 41% of students failed in economics, 35% failed in geography, and 39% failed in history. So first of all, we want to draw a Venn diagram like this. And instead of two subjects here, there are three subjects. 1, 2, and 3. Three subjects are there, and 41% failed in economics. So we in this place, economics 41%, just write like this. And in geography, 35% failed in geography, G 35%, and in history 39% in history. So this much students failed in these subjects. So the next point is most crucial. 5% failed in three subjects. So three subjects, we want to find the place where three subjects are there. 1, 2, and 3. This is the common place for these three subjects: economics, geography, and history. Economic, geography, and history, this is the common place. So this common place is 5. 5 is this in this common place. So 14% failed in economics and geography. Economics this area, and geography this area. How many students failed in that area? 14 percentage of students failed in that area. 14 percentage. You want to just write like that. And the next step is 21% failed in history and geography. So history and geography, this is the circle of history, and this is the circle of geography. So this portion would be how many percent? 21%. This portion would be 21%, and the and 18% failed in history and economics. So 18%, this area would be 18%. So this would be 18%. So we got these values, and the next step is to find these numbers. So in economics, geography and history, 5% of students had failed in both these three subjects. In these three subjects, 5% failed in all three subjects. So 14%. So the value of this area would be 9. The students only failed in economics and geography, except history, would be 9%. And this person, 21 minus 5 would be 16. This area would be 16, and 18 minus 5 would be 13. This area would be 13. So we want to find the students that failed only in economics. So how can we find it? We know that the students who are there in economics would be 41. So 13, 5 and 9. So how can we find the students only failed in economics, not in any other subjects? So how can we find it? So we want to get 41. So we want to add these numbers, 13 plus 5 plus 9 plus x. We want to find that x. So 41 is equal to 13 plus 5 plus 9 would be 27 plus x. So the value of x would be 41 minus 7, 27 would be 14. So 14 students failed only in economics. So if you want to find the number of students failed in only geography, the thing that you want to do is 35 students already failed in geography. So 9 students plus 5 students plus 16 plus x would be the value of students failed in geography, if only in geography. So 35 would be 9 plus 5 plus 16. 9 plus 5 would be 14, and 14 plus 16 would be 30. So 30 plus x. So the value of x would be 5%. So the economics value would be 14%. Here we only want to find the value of economics, but here I am just showing you how to find the values of geography and history. If questions are asked like that, if you want to find the part of geography only, the answer would be 5%. And we can also find the students that failed only in history. So we can also find the students that failed only in history. So how can we find it? So the total number of students would be 39 is equal to 13 plus 5 plus 16. 13 plus 5 plus 16 plus x. So 39 is equal to 13 plus 5 plus 16 would be 16 plus 5 would be 21. 21 plus 13 would be 21 plus 13 would be 34 plus x. So x is equal to 39 minus 34 would be 5%. So if you are asked to find the students who only failed in history, that would be 5%. So through this Venn diagram, if you use the formula technique, it would be so troublesome and problematic for those who wants to save time and do more questions. So I would just suggest to do it in Venn diagram method and just forget about the formula method. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please share it with your friends, and thank you.